I will be presenting a topic that's about psychological awareness with the title "Don't Force a Solution, Instead Understand the Problem." Teenagers possess high digital access to mental health terms, yet this is superficial vocabulary, often deep-seated social stigma, and frequent fear mockery. Most administrative solutions or rigid rules are ineffective because they only suppress outward behaviors without addressing the root cause. To achieve true psychological safety for vulnerable minorities, school cultures must shift away. This presentation will teach us how to increase performance in psychological minorities, show us a better solution, uh, and also a better relationship with the psychological minorities and a better understanding. Uh, from the quantitative survey, utilized a 15 participant Likert scale questionnaire to establish a baseline awareness of conditions including ADHD, ASD, trauma, and insomnia.
Just get relaxed, Kak Deo. Your hand, please. Yeah.
The qualitative deep dives or the interview conducted by 5 qualitative students interviewed to map view psychological minority experience and the specific social stigma of masking threshold.
Okay. Use your hand to create good gestures when you present.
And the data synthesis analyze collected data to define actionable school-wide empathy framework for bridging the gap between invisible disability and social misunderstanding. Now slide 3 about masking, the hidden survival strategy for neurodivergent students. They have 3 ways in doing so. Mimicking social cues. Students actively suppress natural neurodivergent traits, consciously mimicking neurotypical body language and social cues to avoid judgment and fit into classrooms, like fidgeting and burnout. And the second way of masking is burnout and isolation. Maintaining a social persona demands immense mental energy, leading directly to significant internal burnout, heightened anxiety, and a profound loss of personal identity. The third way they mask is conformity hierarchy. Masking is driven by a social hierarchy that rewards rigid conformity over authentic expression, often making students fear, fear exclusion or being their true selves. Now, slide 4. Shift from behavioral suppression to root cause understanding. From old models, they focus on punishing mockery or enforcing compliance rules without any prior education or understanding. The new model identifies the actual function of the behavior and expands the limits of clear imagination. And the implication, empathy is not a rule to follow, but a cognitive skill that must be actively developed. Next slide is about awareness and reality gap. Survey results expose a disconnect between students' self-perceived knowledge and the practical, often shallow applications of empathy toward peers with invisible disabilities. 40% participants feel informed, 33% participant peers labeled ignored, and 27% label only recognition. education and mockery. The education gap, a concise subheading that supports the main message over 53.3%. The frequency condition-based insults are heard constantly by 4 out of 15 students in school settings. And the hierarchy, mockery is often weaponized by peers as a tactic to appear cool within school circles. And intervention. Over 50% of surveyed students believe better information neutralizes cruelty. Next slide. Information sources. Survey data reveals a critical gap as students prioritize digital creators over traditional academic guidance for mental information. With the survey insights, number one, social media dominance. 6 out of 15 students rely on digital creators for information about psychological minorities. On second place is formal education lab. Only 1 in 15 students attribute their knowledge about mental health to school curriculum. And the third place is defensive intervention. While 6 out of 15 would defend a peer, many students hesitate to perceive social risk. And fourth place is algorithmic exposure. Reliance on trends over academic guidance leaves vulnerable minorities at risk of inaccuracy, with data shown in mental health info. Now the next slide is biological insights versus social masking pressure. 8 out of 15 students agree science reduces prejudice. 5 out of 15 students report zero masking pressure, and 3 out of 15 students report extreme masking pressure. And with the data from this table. And why assemblies fail to give us a deep understanding of psychological minorities. There's social friction, gossip, and rigid peer hierarchies create a pervasive environment where students fear being judged, preventing them from feeling safe enough to show vulnerability. The joke barrier. Humorous mockery acts as a defensive shield for both bullies and victims, effectively unmasking genuine cries for help behind sarcasm to avoid appearing weak. And authentic channels. Students prioritize learning empathy through raw personal storytelling from digital creators rather than from overly polished scripted clinical presentation. Next slide. And for my final slide is about cultivating understanding is more effective than enforcing fixes.
Jefferson!
Anonymous story sharing. Our first action that we could add is anonymous story sharing.
Terima kasih. Well done.
Facilitate anonymous
Thank you.
personal story sharing in session to effectively bridge the critical imagination gap. For our second action we could do is field-led workshops, replace generic clinical assemblies with intimate small group field-led sessions to build genuine empathy. And for our third action could be curriculum integration. Integrate modern non-clinical neurodivergence education directly into daily school curriculum. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Triski. Wow, it is so deep, yeah, that you completed your task, your research. Um, I'm interested in the term of the joke barrier. Well, in my eyes, I see that this is very serious. Uh, from the POV of the bullier and the bullies and the victim. Um, in your own eyes, did you ever watch? Did you ever observe? Did you ever notice that this joke barrier also happen frequently in our daily life in school and dormitory?
Plenty,
Ah,
like sometimes they make many males here like to joke about sexual assault and rape.
really?
Yeah, some may take it a little too far, but although it may sound bad, but the worst part is that it could spread like gossip, like I said before.
Even you mentioned about sexual assault. That's too serious for me. But let's talk about some very let's say permissive bully, like not permissive bully, like a moderate, let's say moderate bully, like insulting or like laughing at someone's performance, someone's facial structure, things like that.
Sometimes people like to talk about a person's characteristics, like how odd and neurotypical, majority based. So sometimes from a few friends that have shared their stories, they like to force themselves to fit in.
Okay, now I need you to stand on the position of the victim. How would you handle this situation when the bullies uh, 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 makes a shadow, a barrier shadow in kind of joke?
I would ask the bully if they need like any person to talk to, any person to share their feelings or like to like express their suppressed feelings so that they can not suppress it because suppressed feelings cause extreme stress and in psychology suppressed feelings cause less memory. So it's best to have a friend that is trusted to understand your feelings.
So sharing
Yeah.
is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Okay, thank you. Nice performance. Nice presentation.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
you're welcome. Thank you, Cristiano, for your assistance.